You're watching The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Angela Yee, Charlemagne the God. We are The Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
Our guy is back.
Maury.
Maury.
Oh,
Maury. Do you get tired
my
of hearing
audience. That's my audience.
You walk into restaurants, you walk into hotels, people just start chanting it.
If I go in the kitchen,
Yeah.
that's the. You see, I go to these highfalutin parties in New York sometimes, and you know these media guys who I've known all my life, but you know they don't want to associate with me. So all they want to do is talk to my wife, because she's one of their people, but I'm not, because I do this trashy talk show according to them. So what I do is I go into the kitchen, and everybody loves me in there.
Yeah.
You said that Donald Trump actually used to pitch ideas to you.
Once in a while. I mean, he way
did a
back in the
paternity
day.
test or
Yeah, no, he didn't do paternity test.
He came up with that now.
Years and years ago, I used to do this show called A Current Affair.
Remember?
Okay?
We remember.
And so what happened was, it was right in the middle of his big divorce with Ivana, and he was, seeing Marla Maples on the sly and all that kind of stuff. And he was on the front of the New York Post every single day.
Right.
We love to do stories about all that, because A Current Affair did all that stuff.
If Current Affair was around now, he'd be all over it.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah, every night.
You think it's Trump fatigue at this point?
You know, I would hope so. I mean,
I hope so.
But the thing is, he's made it a cause of his to bash the media, and it doesn't matter what part of the media you're in. He just wants to make his people feel like everything is fake news.
Yeah. Right.
And so, and guess what? I saw a poll the other day. 46% of the people think
Media's fake news.
Fake news.
I mean, it is, though. A lot of it is. I can't speak for, some of the places that he's calling out, like CNN and Fox,
Right.
but it is a lot of fake news out there,
Sure.
especially with the internet.
Absolutely. And guess what? He's promoted some of that fake news.
He just says things without
Because-
doing any research at all sometimes.
Right. So Bannon goes out there with Breitbart and all that stuff and starts feeding all this internet stuff from people who, never seen a pen or a pencil in their lives.
Now, are you mad that Donald Trump kind of ran for president before you? Because you probably could have ran.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
I
You
don't
probably
think
could have ran and won more.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
President Povich.
No. No. First of all, I'd have to take a pay cut.
True.
That is true.
I'm not doing that. I got too many expenses.
Now, how hard is it for you to leave your judgment behind when you're on the show? Like, you see a white woman who identifies as a black woman, and she's
Can you imagine that?
tender skin and all of that.
I thought she was nuts.
Right.
I mean, I told her, I said, color is not skin deep. It's deeper than that. I mean, woman's trying to be African American. She's from Germany. She's a white German woman, and she's trying to be an African American.
Now, if you don't know what they're talking about, Charlemagne, I'm sure you don't.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I posted her on my page.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry.
But by the way, more views than we've had on Facebook of any other guest.
Really?
Yeah.
So
I got one tomorrow. It's going to be great.
What's tomorrow?
On YouTube, on the Maury YouTube channel. I got this guy. We call him the Sperminator.
The Sperminator.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
He has given his sperm to 24 different women, and he's got 29 babies out there. And he is in their lives. And we also bring on 5 of the women.
He's in all their lives, all the kids' lives?
He says he is.
Well,
I
wait,
don't
now, when you
believe it.
say given his sperm, do you mean had sex with them or donated his sperm?
Mostly in a cup,
Okay.
but sometimes the old-fashioned way.
Right.
So-
pump
That's
it.
hot.
Huh?
That's dope.
And I was prepared to really just jump on this guy. I
Right.
mean, what the heck? And he is a kind of an infectious personality, and I kind
Clearly.
of liked him. By the time the whole thing was over,
So you can see
like
why
it
he
too
gets so
much.
much pussy then.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, exactly.
Yeah.
And not only that, I guess because he teaches in college. So
What does he teach?
Biology.
yeah,
Does he?
he's a college professor.
know.
Wow.
What can I tell you? And so maybe these people think, well, maybe I'll get a smart kid out of this.
But don't you think that meeting all these different people has made you not be judgmental because
I'm
you
not
go in with
judgmental.
some type of perception,
I'm not judgmental.
preconceived notion, and then you meet them, and then you're like, oh.
Exactly. Some of it, look, I always believe, even though, for instance, I do the paternity stories or I do the lie detector stories, I believe every single story is unique in its own way.
Right.
And so that's what I hang my hat on, and that's why I'm kind of excited with every one of these stories. I don't get bored.
Right.
I don't.
Because sometimes with the
You
women.
still get surprised?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm still waiting for that big story that's happened once where the woman accuses the guy of being the father of her twins.
Yeah.
And
And
it's
he's
just
the
one.
father of one, but not the other.
Yeah. Whatever happened with that?
She's got two
Still,
daddies.
still haven't found out the second daddy.
Got
Wow.
you.
Now, you talked about splurging, and you said you have a lot of bills. I hear you're a boat guy.
Oh gosh,
Now, they say boats are the worst things to buy.
The worst.
Why?
Well, here's the thing. See, I have this child, and
this child, okay.
he's 22 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and he's in college. He doesn't want to be in college because think about this. Here's a guy who grew up in Manhattan,
Yeah.
right? Went to a very prominent private school in New York.
He's privileged.
Exactly, an overprivileged
Mm-hmm.
kid. He is a commercial tuna fisherman. He has his own boat.
Mm-hmm.
He goes 100 miles offshore. He stays there 5 days and does nothing except catch tuna and sell tuna. And that's all he wants to be.
Now, I'm not mad at that, though, because he's your son, so he could just be living off daddy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for him to go out there and do that, that's
Yeah.
actually
That's
a
passion.
really
That's what
good
he
dope
loves.
job.
So, in other words, he has a boat, all right? Mm-hmm. And then I got a boat. And the bills never quit on boats.
I hear.
mean, it just keeps going and going. There's an old line about J.P. Morgan. The big thing is, if you have to ask how big the boat is, you don't deserve it.
Goodness gracious.
Now, you've been doing Maury's show for 20 years now.
Yeah.
I remember about 4 years ago, maybe 5, I was talking to some NBC execs, and he was like, yeah, Maury's got about 3 more years,
Oh, yeah, right.
and he's going to hang it up.
Look, I was scheduled for assisted living 2 years ago. And these guys at NBC keep selling my show. And so
The show
look,
is still #1.
Yeah, it's got. Believe it or not, this is why you know about research. You do all your radio research
Absolutely.
and all this rating stuff. It drives them crazy with my show because the older I get, the younger my audience, and so nobody can figure that out. I can figure it out because the themes that I use, like the paternity test and the lie detector test and how to control kids, it's drama, man. It's all the great Shakespearean themes. It's lust and betrayal and all these classic themes that everybody wants to know about.
Now, how accurate is the lie detector test? I seen Rick Pitino said he just took one. How
Rick
accurate
Pitino, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
How accurate is it?
Well, it's not as accurate as the paternity test.
Right. It's not 99.99999.
But it's over 90%. I'll put it
is.
to you that way.
Yeah, but you could be nervous and fail one of those, though. Like, you could be telling the truth and be
We
nervous,
do-
hands sweating.
My boy Ralph, Ralph is the guy, Ralph Barbieri is the guy who comes on my show because he does the administering the lie detector tests. He says, look, I give this test 3 different times. I don't just do it one time. I do it 3 times. And being nervous doesn't affect the test.
Some people know how to beat the test, though, they say.
Really?
That's what
How?
I've heard. I know people who said they lied
Right.
and then took the test, and it said that they were
No,
telling the truth.
the only thing I think what happens is these guys who are cheating on their significant others, I think they come on the show and then they find out that they've lied. They know they're going to fail the test. They think that they can start all over again with the girl. That's what they think, even though the girl will take them back.
Now, what do you say to somebody who says, oh, this woman came on, she's done 12 paternity tests, still hasn't found the father,
Right.
she's a hoe?
I don't say. I don't.
No,
think.
but when people say that, how
well,
do you respond
this is what I
to
respond
that?
to. I think that woman is brave, and I think she's courageous because she has to suck up her embarrassment and her humiliation because all she wants to do is find a father for that child that she has to raise herself.
She should have sucked up that sperm, then she wouldn't have got pregnant.
All right.
Charlemagne.
Now, people say that sometimes that some of your guests, that you exploit them. How do you feel about critics that say that you exploit some of your guests?
I think this is what I say about them. let's say it's a paternity test. Let's say a guy had not been in the life of these kids, and now all of a sudden he's shown to be the father, and there's a chance that he will get into the life of these kids. So you can say I exploit them all the time, but I know the chances for that child being successful are much better if there are two parents in his or her life. So that's what I say and I get it all the time from critics and media people. But you know something? It's the media people who say I'm exploiting it. People don't think that.
Yeah, but all media people exploit everything.
Well, of course.
Hey, that's what they do. That's what we do. We exploit everything.
Hey, what are we doing here?
Exactly.
What am I doing?
Maury Povich
We're exploiting Maury right now.
Yeah,
Come on, man. Whether it's Harvey Weinstein
and I'm
stories.
exploiting you because I want to be heard by all those people out there who watch my show.
You know, it's so funny. Like it's like the Harvey Weinstein story will come out, and everybody will talk about the people who are accusing him of these things, and they'll act so concerned. You're just exploiting their story, exploiting their pain. That's all you're doing.
Sell more papers.
That's it.
How come you've never done like a Maury movie?
You know, the only movie I ever did, believe it or not, Tyler Perry called me up.
Medea's Big Happy Family.
Exactly. So Medea has me. I mean, he's playing Medea, and he has me on the show because somebody is doubting whether Medea is the other guy is the father of Medea's child, right? He builds. I mean, Tyler, by the way, he's got this studio in Atlanta. I mean, you think you're in the middle of Hollywood. I mean, it is the most amazing studio. And he is rebuilt to the exact feeling of my set.
Really?
The entire set. And he has seen, because she comes on, I read the result. It's the wrong result. And Medea runs off the stage, goes to the couch in the back, falls down, starts going crazy. Like he's been watching my show for years. And the greatest thing about it was Tyler says it's scheduled for like a half a day shoot. And I'm going, oh, God almighty, 8 hours, stuff like that. Oh, God. How many times are they going to do it? He is so good. He did it one time. That's it. Goodbye. Wrap. See you, Maury. Thank you.
Wow. You was on Blackish too, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've done that.
But I mean like a Maury movie, like a movie where...
About your life.
Or
about
maybe
my
not
life?
even that, but
As a
maybe
short
even like
movie.
a fun fictional movie, like a couple goes on Maury. Just
Oh,
like
really?
I'm sure somebody's pitched a movie.
okay.
idea or
What about a
something
comedy
like
where you're the father? That would be hilarious.
Yeah, that's great, Shar.
Yeah.
That's just true. I always tell people, I'm the father of some, but not many.
Now, you're on Maury's Social Sit Down.
Yeah.
Are you doing that show because you want people to start, like, taking you more serious?
No, it's me. It's the way the way you all do it with Facebook and YouTube and things like that. They are unique segments, not on my show, and for all those people who do everything on their devices, they can get this kind of new, unique segments only on YouTube.
Your younger fan base.
Yeah.
That you have.
Of course.
Now, do you ever think about the guests that were on your show, like that might have gone through something crazy? And sometimes when you go home, because you listen to so many stories every day.
Right.
I'm sure some things really still stay with you and stay in your head. How do you manage to clear your head? Just people going through certain struggles?
Well, I inquire about them, and we have a connection. All the producers keep in touch with every single guest that they produce. And so, therefore, if there is a problem, for instance, if I say, look, we're going to set up counseling for you back home, I make sure that the producers follow up on that.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
And by the way, I also get a lot of return guests.
Right.
I mean, first they're on, here's the classic, okay? The guy accuses the woman of cheating on him and that he's not the father of the baby. Comes on, I do the whole thing. I do a lie detector test and a paternity test. She hasn't cheated on him. He is the father. And then, guess what? 6 months later, she has figured it out. It was he who was cheating all the time. I'm coming back on the show because I want him to take the lie detector test.
Wow.
And, of course, he fails.
Right. Sheesh.
So we do a lot of that.
Is there anything you stray away from, like certain topics?
I
that
don't
you
do
feel
religion. I don't do politics. I don't do mess with that. I mean, there's enough channels for that kind of stuff. I don't think I need it.
You'll do that on this social sit down.
Yeah,
right?
I'll do that. Yeah, I'll do all that.
What do you think of the state of the American government right now? Because you've seen a lot of different administrations.
I think it's absolutely paralyzed. I think it's just the worst. I mean, when I grew up in Washington, D.C., so I'm kind of a local kid, and I've been around government most of my life. And I remembered when everybody said, okay, I want this. Another guy would say, I want that. And then they'd sit down, they'd have a drink, and they'd meet in the middle, and something would get done. Mm-hmm. No more. Mm-hmm. It's the worst.
It's more of a dictatorship.
Which, by the way, is the reason Donald Trump is president.
Correct.
Is because of the absolute frustration of the American people that nothing gets done.
Do you regret voting for Trump?
I didn't vote for him.
Nice try.
I ain't telling you who I voted for, but I voted.
Now, this is your 20th season.
Yeah.
You got nominated for an Emmy, too. Congratulations.
Ridiculous, isn't it?
Not really.
Come on.
Outstanding talk show. That sounds about right.
In fact, they had this big event in L.A., the ceremony, and they said, you want to go? I said, no, I'm not going. I said, why? He said, because if I go anywhere where I'm nominated for something, we never win. You guys go, have a good time. So we didn't win. I did that one time years and years ago. Mm-hmm. I had a production company, and I produced a short documentary after 9/11 on a police officer in New York and a brother fire officer. Both died in 9/11. Wow. It was called Twin Towers, and it was nominated for an Academy Award. Mm-hmm. And the guy who directed it and produced it for me, a fellow named Rob Port, he says, we'll go to the Oscars. I said, I'm not going to the Oscars. He says, why? He says, because if I go, I know you won't win. So I didn't go, and they won.
Wow.
We won the Oscar. And so ever since then, I said, I ain't going to any award ceremonies. I don't believe in that.
It seemed like you'd be nominated every year for Outstanding Talk Show, though. 20 years with the numbers y'all do.
I want to tell you something. The people who run those things, the Emmys and things, they look on my show, less than.
You think they look down on your show?
Yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Does that bother you?
No. Doesn't bother me. Years and years ago when I was doing A Current Affair and Rupert Murdoch, he was the head of Fox. He is. Yeah, still is, kind of. His sons are now. He used to say, he said, look, we're not in this to win awards. We're in this to win viewers. And that's the way I look on it.
Absolutely.
Word.
What do you think about all these allegations now against all these high-powered producers in Hollywood?
Well,
are these stories you've heard about for years?
I knew Harvey was a tough guy to deal with. I didn't know anything about his relationships with women. But I knew he had the reputation of being a screamer and stuff like that. I'm not surprised because there was a culture out there, especially when I was younger, when, if a woman wanted to get a job in a certain entertainment position or a news position, hey, wait till the news people come out.
Casting couch.
Oh, boy.
Casting couch, baby.
Oh, baby. Don't think that casting couch wasn't in the news business.
They've already been talking about Bill O'Reilly and all the settlements that he had.
Yeah.
This is going to get nasty for people.
You got anything you want to tell us more before we hear it on
I got nothing. By the way, it did. I'm telling you right now, I started thinking about it, way back. And I said,
you're like, let me make sure I didn't sexually
so
harass
happy.
nobody.
I think I'm in the clear.
I think she slept with me for the right reasons. I think I slept with her for the right reasons.
My goodness.
I didn't tell her I'd give her a job.
But I'm telling you, everybody in our business, they began to think about it. Didn't you think about it? Didn't you think about it?
No. I ain't never been in that position of power.
Charlamagne to pop up.
Come on.
Interns.
I've never been in that kind of position of power.
Might have been on the other side.
Yeah.
Oh, is that right?
No, that is true. I've been put in compromising positions.
And you see a lot of men are coming forward and saying that they too have been sexually harassed and assaulted.
Right.
So. No, has anything ever happened to you? You ever feel like anybody put you in a...
How you been on the air all these years, Maury? How'd you get this show?
No. I think I'm in the clear there. I really am. I was never in the hiring position.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I was always the guy wanting to be hired. Mm-hmm. So I was never in the hiring position.
What do you think should happen to Harvey Weinstein now?
Oh, I think it's already happened. I think he's toast. I mean, I think, and I don't think the company will survive. I really don't. I think they'll sell off it piecemeal. The television division will be sold off. The movies, the library will be sold. All that stuff. It'll be gone within a year.
Yeah, I think it's a wrap.
Yeah, I think it's gone.
Yeah, I think it's a wrap. I still don't feel like they're going at him the way they went at like a Bill Cosby either, though. Like I don't feel like he's being crucified.
There are about 5 cases out there, and apparently the investigators in New York are looking at it.
Yeah.
People in L.A. are looking at it.
It's pretty new allegations, like everything has. And you know what? Women have spoken out about Bill Cosby in the past. They've spoken about Harvey Weinstein in the past. People didn't take it seriously at first, and now we're starting to take those things more seriously. Like,
what do you think about this Me Too thing? What do you think about
the hashtag?
that? Yeah, the hashtag Me Too.
I think that a lot of women have been put in situations where they feel like they've been compromised. They feel like it's intimidating. It's intimidating when somebody in a position of power does something to you and you feel like if you speak about it, you could get blackballed. You might never get a job again. People won't believe you. And it did happen to a lot of different women. So I think it's great that people feel like they can express themselves and have that voice and put those stories out there. So I do think it's a positive thing.
And the difference between Harvey and Bill is celebrity, too, though.
Yeah.
Like if Harvey had been a celebrity that people actually knew, they'd be all over him, roasting him. Yeah. The jokes aren't as good when you don't really know the person.
I talked to my wife about it because, you know, she was there back in the day when Connie Chung, when she was coming up in the news.
Harvey sexually assaulted Connie, too?
No,
she's
no, but I asked her about her experiences, and she says, I'm putting everything in the book. I said, okay.
Really?
Yeah, so she's had experiences as well.
But I know, knowing my wife, she got around it this way. Are you kidding me? You're not that good looking.
Right.
I don't want to be around. I mean, she was one of the boys. I mean, she would just throw it back at you.
Gotcha.
So it wasn't.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is how you handle it, but it's unfortunate that it does happen. But I do feel like guys will sometimes just put it out there and see how you react to it, and it's, you know, but then there's those worse situations when you're trying to get on and you're getting promised things and you end up in a hotel room or alone with somebody, and then someone physically does something.
The worst thing about the Weinstein thing was the honeypot thing.
What's the honeypot?
What's the honeypot?
You don't know about the honey? So, okay, we're going to talk about a script. Come to my hotel room with my assistant, a woman. The assistant goes up there, and then she leaves. So now the woman is alone with Harvey.
Right.
In other words, she wouldn't have gone up
if she would have been alone to begin with, and then now you feel like, how am
So
I going to
that's the
explain being
honeypot.
alone in the
Why they call it the
hotel
honeypot? Oh, because it's a sticky situation.
No, it's sweet. You're gonna, here. This is very interesting. We got this situation here with a script. We have a woman assistant with you, right?
Oh.
Okay. Then the assistant leaves, you by yourself.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's premeditated sexual assault. He got to go to jail. Like, that's crazy.
And what about the assistant? Because clearly they know.
Well, there's, that it's all out there.
It'll all come out.
You don't think? I mean, the New York Times broke all this stuff, and the New Yorker magazine broke all this stuff. You don't think that it's over with them? I mean, they're looking for every little morsel. That's how, that's how the Times came up with the Bill O'Reilly $32 million.
Right.
$32 million.
Right.
Now, I want to know with the Bill O'Reilly $32 million, they said it was a non-consensual sexual relationship. What does that mean?
That doesn't even make no sense.
That doesn't
What does
sound
that
right.
mean?
That's some language the lawyer
I mean,
put
as
in
far
there.
as I'm concerned, that's rape, isn't it?
Yeah.
That definitely
assault.
sounds like rape also, yeah.
But they called it a non-consensual sexual relationship. Who the heck knows?
Well, we appreciate you for joining us, and you're invited up here.
Thanks so
anytime.
much.
Maury season 20 starts now.
That's right.
Oh, gosh.
Thank you,
boy.
Maury.
Angela, nice.
Maury.
Thank you,
How
dude.
much time you got left? Just the last year? You going to bow out at 20?
He said how much time he got
Hell
left? Like
no,
he'll pass
not
away.
while he's on top.
He got time.
Depends on how much that boat costs.
There you go. Well, it's Maury. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.